Hello everyone! Once JK Rowling, the author of the world's best-selling book about a boy who survived, once said the following phrase: "It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities." She understands this very well, because before all her fame, she lived in poverty. And in our today's video, I will tell you a story that spread across the internet a few years ago and became viral in just some minutes. It will be about two equal but different people who determined their life path. Let's start in order. This meeting happened in 2015 in a courtroom in Miami, where a judge presided over the case of a man who had been charged with theft. The man named Arthur Booth was caught by police officers while trying to escape from the scene of the crime. The fact is that after committing a minor theft, his car was wanted. And when it was found, the man still tried to run away but was caught. Judge Mindy Glazer was at her desk, having reviewed the case of her defendant, and opposite her stood Arthur Booth, waiting for the verdict with a deadpan look. This wasn't the first time he appeared in court. He already served a sentence in prison more than once. Arthur stared at Mindy Glazer, letting her know that he wasn't afraid of her. Perhaps it would have ended quite normally. Arthur would have been convicted and sent to serve time in prison, and Mindy would have worked her day and returned home. But what actually happened made Arthur cry like a little child. "Mr. Booth, did you go to Nautilus for middle school?" unexpectedly asked Mindy. Hearing this question, Arthur stared at the judge's face, trying to figure out how would she know that. Other people in the courtroom also didn't understand what was happening, but Arthur realized who was standing in front of him. He turned pale and said the following words: "Oh my goodness, this can't be happening." My goodness, Arthur, who had been looking at the judge with a straight face, was now on his knees, tears streaming down his cheeks. "Oh my goodness," the man repeated the same phrase. At that moment, Arthur recognized his old friend, and then burst into tears. As it turned out later, more than 30 years ago, when Arthur was a child, he had a completely different life, different priorities and views on his future life. He was one of the best students at the Nautilus school, due to his savvy and talent in science and mathematics. In the late 70s, this school was one of the most prestigious in Miami. Before that, Arthur attended William Brighton Primary School. But after teachers noticed his talent for learning, he was accepted to Nautilus. The boy loved studying. He tried hard, and his dream was to become a neurosurgeon. Arthur learned Spanish on his own and achieved excellent grades. He was born in a poor family, so he had to go to his new school on the school bus. The road took about an hour. He was predicted a successful future and a high-paying, prestigious job. Seeing Arthur Booth in the courtroom was very painful for Mindy. "When I last saw Arthur, I was just a little girl. I also had ambitions, and I wanted to become a veterinarian. But all this was nothing compared to Arthur. He was the best student and I admired him. We played football and spent time together. This was the best kid in high school, and now I look at him and I don't understand how this could have happened," Mindy later said. And during the trial, she just told him, "Look what happened to you, Arthur." All this time, Arthur couldn't hold back his tears. 30 years later, two classmates and best friends met, but not in the way they expected. He as the defendant, and she as the judge who condemns his crime. Later, it became clear how Arthur came to such a life. According to his sister, about 30 years ago, at the age of 17, Arthur got hooked on gambling. In the beginning, he was attracted to this excitement, easy money, but over time, When the rates grew and the debts increased, big problems began. After being overwhelmed by depression, he tried drugs for the first time in his life. All that led to the fact that he began to break the law. A promising, intelligent, and educated boy, to everyone's surprise, turned into a criminal. Two old friends meeting seems like a nice chance to recall their past and talk about present life. But not in this case. Mindy asked him, "Do you understand what you have done? Do you agree that you are accused of a crime?" Arthur confessed to his crime. During the entire trial, the man kept his eyes down. However, this story isn't over yet. Judge Glazer set bail at $43,000, or the penalty of 1 year in prison. She said him the following: "Mr. Booth, I really hope that you can change your life. It pains me to see you here. Please make sure that you never find yourself in such a place again. I have the best memories of you. Just think about what I told you. It's only your power to change everything. Good luck to you, sir." Mindy's words made a lasting impression on Arthur, and 10 months later, he was released early for good behavior. All his time in prison, he was engaged in self-education, reading books, learning the basics of business. He wanted to change his life for the better. And since he had already lost one of his dreams, he decided to start all over again. When the term of imprisonment came to an end, Arthur met with Mindy. He thanked her, sincerely promising that he would never be in court again in his life and would change his life. And he kept his words. Now years have passed. Arthur has become quite a successful man. He works as a manager in a pharmaceutical company, where he earns enough money to be able to travel the world without denying himself anything. He stopped using drugs and underwent treatment. As for Mindy Glazer, he maintains a fairly warm relationship with her. Arthur is grateful that fate brought them together a few years ago in the courtroom, because it was her words spoken in that fateful hour that radically changed his life. After so many years, Arthur finally managed to make the right choice in his life. And this story only confirms that only we are responsible for our fate, and only our choice is able to decide what our future life will be. What do you think about this? Do you agree with these words? Write your opinions in the comments. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. See you soon.